and welcome. It's on? You guys got this on? Now on? Now on. Good evening and welcome to the 8th annual ReelAbilities New York Disabilities Film Festival. I'm Rabbi Joy Levitt. I'm the executive director here. This is an excellent time to silence your cell phones. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting this festival. It is the largest festival of its kind in the world. We are now in over 40 locations throughout the New York metropolitan area, making this, without a doubt, the most accessible festival in New York. This week, over 30 films will be screened here and around the city, all followed by conversations that will further take the audience into the lives, the stories, and the expressions of people with different abilities. I want to thank all of the supporters of this festival who really make it happen. From its co-founder and my partner in crime in this work and so much else, Anita Altman, some of our major funders, including Barbara Dobkin and the Dobkin Family Foundation, Pat Goldman from the J.E. and E.Z. Butler Foundation, Jeff Harris from the Saul Schottenstein Foundation B, Lynn and Alicia Wiesel Charitable Fund, Jordana and David Manzano, the National Endowment for the Arts, the Christopher and Dana Reeves Foundation, FYI, the Omer Foundation, and many more who are acknowledged in all of our brochures and materials, which I encourage you to take a look at. A huge thank you to the hardworking staff of this festival, to Yitzi Zablocki, the director and co-founder, Ravit Turjeman, the director and consultant, and Yotam Tawal, our program associate. Really, this is the best thing I get to do all year. And all week. It's now my honor to introduce one of the bravest actors of our time. He is a 3-time Academy Award nominee, and his most recent release, Spotlight, won Best Picture. Of course, you all saw it. He has brought attention to people with disabilities through films such as Infinity Polar Bear, where he played a manic depressive father, and his featured directorial debut, Sympathy for Delicious, which featured the story of a man in a wheelchair who becomes a healer. This is a person who understands the power of film to transform people and to change perceptions. Beyond all of his considerable screen credits, he is a social activist and truly engages with making the world a better place. In short, a mensch. Mark Ruffalo.
Thank you. That was a really nice introduction. Hi. Welcome to the ReelAbilities Film Festival. So I just want to start by saying my best friend is a paraplegic. He was a great actor before he was a paraplegic, and he's a great actor today. And in 2008, after several, maybe 6 years of trying to get a film made that he wrote, we finally got it made. He went to the Sundance Film Festival. He starred in it. We had many people with ability differences in the film. And we won the special jury prize there. I say that to just exemplify the fact that there really are no limitations to the human spirit, the human creative urge. And if you set your sights high enough and you believe wonderful, magical things can happen, I tend to feel that part of achieving the impossible is actually just setting your, 99% of it is setting your sights on it. So, you probably know this, but there are 50 million people that we wrongly call disabled in this country. They're one of the most overlooked groups of people. We didn't really talk about it at the Academy Awards, and I'm guilty of that myself. We focused on a certain groups, but not on the entirety of people who are not being served in our community. Now, the wonderful thing about a film festival is it's a chance, it's a platform for artists to be able to bring another look at the world, another kind of filmmaking, another point of view, and it gives us a platform in order to launch that into the world. So they're very, very, very important places, and something like the ReelAbilities Film Festival is such an important thing. So folks here that are part of funding this, it's a big deal. What you're laying down here today, in another 8 years, will be exponentially more received in the world, and you will see more people with ability differences in film. So, it's wonderful work that you're doing. I'm honored to be here. I hope you enjoy the next film, Margarita Through a Straw. And thank you for coming. Good night.
I want to introduce you now to two extraordinary women who made tonight possible. Their passion and deep connection for everything that ReelAbilities stands for and everything this JCC stands for motivates them to give above and beyond. Please welcome our co-chairs for tonight and ReelAbility Council members and all-around wonderful supporters of JCC, Jordana Sandler-Manzano and Lynn Bartner-Wiesel.
Thank you, Mark. I became involved with ReelAbilities by attending a preview night at Jordana's home a few years ago. The film spoke to me in many different ways, as a spouse, parent, daughter, sister, a body worker, and patient. We relate to these films because we are human. These scenarios touch our lives. Jordana, David, Alicia, and I are proud to support ReelAbilities because these films create an inclusive reality that needs to be celebrated and brought to the public. It's not enough for these films to be made, they need to be seen and presented with that same inclusive spirit. Your help made these films more accessible. This year, for the first time, we made all our conversations at the JCC American Sign Language interpreted. ReelAbilities can grow with your help. Please visit us online at newyork.reelabilities.org. Click Connect, get involved, donate. Now I'm honored to introduce my colleagues of the festival, Isaac Zablocki and Ravit Turjeman.
Thank you, Lynn and Jordana, for your passion and support for ReelAbilities. Tonight kicks off 7 days filled with over 100 screenings of premiere and award-winning films from all around the world. All of them are followed by conversations with dozens of filmmakers and guest speakers who have traveled from near and far to be part of the festival. Some of the filmmakers are here with us tonight, and I would like to thank them for sharing their wonderful and important films with us. All of this would not have been possible without the support and hard work of so many individuals and organizations. First and foremost, our film selection committee, who have screened over 1,000 film submissions this year. Yeah, this might sound like a really dream job, but combing through these films and really selecting the best and most diverse lineup is not an easy job. It's a very demanding process, and we're thankful for their dedication. These films then go to be part of the ReelAbilities national program, presented in over 17 cities throughout the country, and now even in Toronto in Canada. A huge thank you goes to members of the festival's advisory committee and council for their guidance and support, and of course to all of our sponsors and partners. In addition to those mentioned by Rabbi Joy Levitt earlier, we would like to also thank the New York State Council for the Arts, the New York City Department of Culture, the New York City Mayor's Office for Media and Entertainment, and a special thanks goes to Commissioner Kalisi and his team at the Mayor's Office for People with Disabilities. If you have seen the ReelAbilities ad commercial in the taxis about 10 times while riding a 5-minute cab, you will have Commissioner Kalisi to thank for it. We also had the pleasure of partnering with his office this past summer when ReelAbilities presented films in New York City parks in honor and celebration of the 25th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. This year is not only the most accessible festival because of the record number of locations, but it also is thanks to